Hi, we are Team 2B Mate Highways and we took on Challenge 2 Portfolio Risk Analysis. Our team is made up of myself, Louise, Rory, Jonathan, Rosie, June and Matt. The problem statement we encountered in taking on our challenge was that risk analysis was being done per project in isolation. The results were less practically helpful than if viewing in a holistic portfolio view. There was no current way of grouping those individual analyses together to develop that view, and the potential value was being overlooked and not capitalised. As a portfolio risk manager, our client wanted to be able to see the risk analysis across all of their projects as easily as possible. Project managers wanted to be able to view this analysis, even on projects that weren't their own, to make more informed decisions, allow better decision making, and to focus attention to improve outcome for all projects.
As part of our product discovery process, we needed to establish a few key areas. Customer need. The customer needs to have a portfolio view of risk analysis, which is clear and easy to interpret. Product vision. To meet the team's core need, a Power BI report seemed like a good solution, which is easy to understand and enables a portfolio view. Customer persona. We're targeting project professionals who want to quickly understand a risk environment across a portfolio. This will help inform decisions for current and future projects. Value. The value the solution brings is it aids decision making, hence saves time. By saving time, this allows early intervention, which saves money and improves quality. Creating features. We created features such as filters, which would best fulfill the customer need, and thought about which visualizations would bring the most value. At the start of our solution development, we created a whiteboard to establish what our solution needed to do and how it could best be tailored to the needs of project managers.
So our solution started in Python, and what we needed to do was look at the different types of files, group them together by similarity, and then concatenate the data into a portfolio view. So our Power BI starts with a home screen and allows us to navigate through the report. So we start on data quality, and this was about looking at how many missing data points we had throughout our data and trying to identify these by activity ID so we could feed back to the data owners. And we also had a breakdown of the types of activities. We have a Gantt chart in here showing our schedule, and we've been able to load this with the uncertainty information and color code it up so you can see that activities that are coming through as green have low levels of uncertainty, and this goes through to activities that are red, which have high levels of uncertainty. We can also break this down and look at activities that are on the critical path, as well as activities that are on the near critical path, and we can also break this down by looking at specific projects. We wanted to look at the risk associated with different types of activities, so milestones and standard activities. So you can see here that we're looking at the breakdown of milestones and whether they're on the critical path, near critical path, or not on the critical path. And we also wanted to see whether our milestones were going to hit our start dates. So we've got our forecast likelihood in here. You can see that we're looking at the percentage of activities which actually started on time. So when we delve through different projects, you can see that project 1 is performing quite well with 23%, and that's in comparison to other projects where you're down at 1 or 0%. We also look at different metrics such as risk share percentage, risk influence score, and criticality float by ID. We also wanted to look at risk breakdown by project. So we can see here that we're looking at risk influence score. So that's cumulative across the projects. So project 1 has the most inherent risk, and this goes down to project 3. But you can also see that we can look at our forecasted saving relative duration by project, and that project 1 actually is a project which would be worthwhile the investment in mitigating these risks, as it looks like we can recover a lot of the potential loss in duration. And finally, we have a summary of our simulation results.
The benefits of the Power BI dashboard we have developed include an easy-to-use dashboard with clear visualizations which are easy to understand. We have developed a centralized area for risk analysis, displaying a grouped project view rather than a single view. We believe that this is a reliable and efficient system of managing projects and portfolio, as projects can be aggregated, and there is a drill down function providing further analysis of projects.
As a group, we decided when incorporating a new data set that we hadn't used before, it would be important to ensure that the data quality was monitored before we used it towards our final report. The data quality was monitored by analysing the new data source we were using, NYP, to ensure the quality of our reporting was to a high standard. This was based on the amount of missing data in the dataset, and with the use of conditional formatting and measurements, we assessed that the new dataset was appropriate for use and became part of our final visualizations and reporting. This was through some calculations where we worked out how much missing data there was and came up with a percentage, as you can see. When considering one of the main targets for this report was for project managers to be able to use it easily and concisely, we wanted to build it in order to aid their decision making. A project manager can view activities on the critical path, which helps with their schedule management. In order to do this effectively, we use things such as drill down functionality, filters and slicers, which in turn help to analyse activities and likelihood of achieving milestones without having to look at all the raw data and having it broken down into specific parts. A portfolio view of schedule performance contributes to reporting by exception, focusing on areas that need improvement, red or amber activities. With more time, we would have extended our data quality analysis to look at predictive forecasting for future risk analysis. At present, our data quality just looked at the previous data sets that we had, but if we had more time, we could have looked at the trends and tried to predict future trends in order for project managers to be proactive when managing risk and tackling problems. We would also look at grouping the data into more concise variables in order for more precise analysis. This is due to the nature of how large the datasets were that we were working with, and it could perhaps be quite hard for the project managers to interpret at times.